This is lecture number 3, filling of electron into the 3D and 4s orbitals. First, I will tell you about the commonly wrong variant which is taught. When we add the electron into the orbitals, we use this diagram: 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p, 3d. And according to this diagram, electron always enter first into the 1s, then 2s, like this, then into the 2s, then electron will go into the 2p, like this, then electron will go into the 3p, like this, and then 4s, and then electron will go into the 3d, then 4p, then 5s. For entering the electron, when we enter the electron, we assume that 4s orbital is nearer to the nucleus as compared to 3d. You can see that first we enter the electron into the 4s, and then we will enter the electron into the 3d, like this. Scandium has 21 electron, so the electronic configuration would be like this: 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6. After 3p6, electron will enter into the 4s. First 4s, and then electron will go into the 3d. 4s electron is nearer to the nucleus according to this diagram. And after rearranging, you can write the electronic configuration like this: 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 3d1, and 4s2. And when we want to remove the electron, then we remove the electron from 4s and then 3d. This is the contradiction. For entering the electron, we assume that 4s orbital is nearer to the nucleus, and like this. And when we want to remove the electron, then we assume that 4s is the outermost orbital. These two statements are totally opposed to each other. And this happens in all transition metals when you do the electronic configuration with the help of this diagram, like this. This is the titanium: 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 4s2, and 3d2. And after rearranging, 3d2 and then 4s2. And when if we want to make the ion of titanium, we will remove the electron from 4s first, and then we will remove the electron from 3d. Similarly, in vanadium, in chromium, in manganese, in iron, and in zinc. So, why this commonly taught variant is wrong? Point number 1. We say that 4s electron have a lower energy than 3d. So, the 4s orbitals are filled first, like this. You can see in this electronic configuration. And point number 2, when we want to remove the electron from transition element, we say that electron lost first from 4s orbital because it is furthest from the influence of nucleus. And when we want to remove the electrons are lost from 4s because 4s orbitals are more far away than 3d. So this is the main problem. The above two statements are directly opposed to each other. So the problem is, what is the problem? The problem is we draw this diagram and then we assume that it works for all the atoms. That is actually not happen. This diagram is not applicable for all the elements in the periodic table, especially when you do the electronic configuration of D block. This diagram would be useless. Okay, let's solve the problem. Where is the problem? When you move from calcium to scandium, calcium is present in group 2 and scandium is present in D block. This is not a typical transition element, but still it is present in D block. Calcium has 20 proton and scandium has 21 proton. So there is an increase in the nuclear pull in scandium as compared to calcium. Why? Because scandium has one extra proton. Similarly, scandium also has one extra electron around the nucleus. So from this, we can say that this scandium has a stronger force of attraction as compared to calcium. And this scandium has 21 electron, so we can assume that in this scandium atom there is more repulsion because more electrons are present. So due to the more attraction and due to the more repulsion, these forces of attraction and repulsion basically controls the energies of various orbitals. In d block elements, the energy of 3d orbital becomes slightly less than that of 4s. This is the main statement. In d block, due to the more force of attraction, and more forces of repulsion, orbitals rearrange themselves. And after rearranging in d block elements, 4s orbitals has more energy than 3d. It's mean 4s orbital is far away from the nucleus and 3d orbital is inner side of the 4s. Okay, now we start the electronic configuration. I start the electronic configuration not from scandium. I will start from the scandium ion, scandium 3 plus. Scandium has 21 electron, but scandium 3 plus has 18 electrons. So electronic configuration would be very similar: 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, and there is 18 electron. Okay, if we add an other electron into the scandium, then the scandium would be 2 plus charge, and now the total electron would be 19, and the electronic configuration would be like this: 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6. And after 3p6, we will not follow this diagram. After 3p, there is the 3d orbital. So electron will go into the 3d. Because I told you in d block elements, there is a more force of attraction due to which orbitals rearrange. So 4s orbital would be outer and 3d orbital would be inner side. So electron will go into those orbitals which is nearer to the nucleus. So electron will enter into the 3d, not 4s. Okay, what do you say about scandium plus 1? It has 20 electron. You will say that definitely electron will go into the 3d. You might expect that the next electron to go into the lower energy 3d orbital to give 3d2, but it doesn't. If you add, what is the reason? Now, according to my logic, the next electron should enter into the d, which is nearer to the nucleus, but this will not happen. The reason is, if you add another electron to any atom of d block, then there would be a repulsion. Why? Why repulsion? Because 3d orbitals are quite compactly arranged around the nucleus. Introducing a second electron into the 3d, d orbital is already compact, and if you add another electron into the 3d orbital, it produces more repulsion, and due to the repulsion, the d orbital would be unstable, more energetic, so electron will go into the 4s instead of 3d. So if you do the electronic configuration of scandium plus 1, 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 3d1, and 4s1. Okay, What is the electronic configuration of scandium now? Scandium has 21 electrons. So the same logic would be here. The next electron will also go into the 4s. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 3d1, and 4s2. According to this electronic configuration, you can see that 4s orbital is the outermost and 3d is the inner side. So when you lose the electron, 4s electrons are lost first. Similarly, if you want to do the electronic configuration of vanadium, vanadium has how many electrons? Vanadium has 23. So the electronic configuration would be 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6. After 3p, electron will enter into the 3d. I told you that in the transition metals, there is a more nuclear attraction and forces of repulsion between the electrons. So orbitals rearrange themselves, and after rearranging, 3d would be inner side and 4s would be outer side. So electron first enter into the 3d, and after entering the d orbital, the next electron is unable to go into the 3d orbital. I told you reason, because d orbitals is quietly compactly arranged around the nucleus. So if you introduce the second electron, there would be a repulsion. So next two electron will go into the 4s2. So how many electrons we have filled? 2 plus 2, 4, 6, 10, 12, 18, 19, 20, 21. And we have to fill 23. So the remaining electron will go into the d orbital. Now there is no other choice. These electrons have to go into the 3d, otherwise they have no option. So the remaining electron now will fill the d orbital. Similarly, if you do the electronic configuration of nickel, nickel has 28. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, leave the 3d, then 4s2, and count the electron. 2 plus 2, 4, 6, 10, 12, 18, 19, 20. 8 electrons are left. These electrons will go into the 3d orbitals. In this electronic configuration, when you have to make ion, 4s electrons are lost first, and then you will remove the electron from 3d. Okay, now we discuss the exceptional cases in d block element: chromium and copper. Chromium and copper. Chromium has 24 electrons. So the electronic configuration should be like this: 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 3d, 4s2, and 2 plus 2, 4, 10, 12, 18, 19, 20. 4 electrons are left, so 3d4. But this electronic configuration is not stable. The rule is, here you will listen a new rule. The rule is, those subshells which are fulfilled are stable, like S. If S has 2 electrons, P has 6 electrons, D has 10 electrons, these are fulfilled, so these orbitals would be stable. If subshells are half filled, P has 3, D has 5, and F has 7 electrons. If subshells are half filled, they are also stable. But if any subshell is partially filled means if D has 1, D has 2 electron, or 3 electron, or 4, or 6, or 7, or 8, or 9. This is the partially filled. So these subshells are not stable. So you can see the electronic configuration of chromium. In chromium, D has 4 orbitals. D has 4 electrons, sorry. D has 4 electrons. And S has 2 electrons. To get this stability, these electrons will rearrange and one electron will go into the 3D. So the electronic configuration of chromium would be like this: 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 3d5, and 4s1. Now this is the stable electronic configuration, and if you want to make the chromium ion chromium 3 plus, so what would be the electronic configuration of chromium 3 plus? First you lose the electron from, you will remove the electron from 4s, and then you will remove the electron from 3d. So 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, and 3d3. Similarly, in copper, copper has 29 electrons. The electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, leave the 3d, and 4s2. How many electrons are left? 9, so 3d9. You will see that in this case, this 3d orbital is not stable. This is partially filled. So if one electron from 4s will jump into the 3d, then this 3d would stable. One thing is very important. Why this 4s electron is jumping into the 3d? Because there is a less energy gap between the 3d and 4s. Otherwise, in any other case, this jumping is not possible. Only these two orbitals, 3d and 4s, these are the two orbitals which has a very less energy gap. Therefore, these electrons can easily jump at room temperature. So the electronic configuration would be like this: 3d10 and 4s1. Thank you.